There have been so many different areas in my life that I have struggled with over the years. And if you ask my wife, there is not a single area of my life that I'm perfect in. And so there are challenges in every areas of my life, but two of the areas that I've done a pretty good job with over the years, that I've remained the most consistent with, are going to be my physical life. So basically, let's look at that as exercise and nutrition. So there have been periods of time that haven't been perfect, but I've been consistent because I've gone through periods of injury. I've gone through periods of where I'm not very motivated, but I always get back on track to be doing the things that I need to do to get the results in those areas of my life that I would love to get. And the reason why and the way that I'm able to do that is if we look at this thing like called the health continuum. And so if you have this health continuum where on one end of the spectrum you have 100% health or 100% life, what do you have on this far other end of the spectrum over here? Most people say sickness, but it's not. It's death. So if you have 100% here, it's 0% over here. So our entire life is somewhere along this continuum. And so think about it. When you're born, you have this amazing intelligence inside of you that created a human being in 9 months from two cells, an egg cell and a sperm cell, comes together, and that those two cells create this zygote that differentiates into trillions and trillions of different cells in your body, each having very unique capabilities. Your nerve system, your heart, your liver, your kidneys, and all of this stuff is working in harmony. And this happens in 9 months. So do you think that when you're born, the intelligence that allowed that to happen just all of a sudden poof and disappeared and went away? Of course not. That intelligence is still right inside of you. And so when we're born with this level of purity where we're all the way out here at this 100% potential or 100% opportunity for health and life over here. And then what happens is very early on in our lives, we start moving in this direction. Why? Because we're here and we start getting bombarded with artificial light and screen time and processed food, and we're falling and our spine is misaligning and we get stressed out and there's pressure on us and we're not out in nature all the time. And then we get into school and we're sitting down for longer periods of time and eating more garbage, and we're more stressed out and more screen time and more sitting and less movement, and we just keep chipping away and going down and down and down. But we don't have any symptoms. When do we have symptoms? We have symptoms when we get old, usually, right? Sometimes people have them when they were a kid, and we do see a lot of children here in the office for different types of health issues. But what happens with a lot of people is they just keep covering it up and covering it up. And then we get to a point to where all of a sudden we get past that 50% mark, we get down into maybe the 40s or the 30s, and then all of a sudden we hit 30 years old or 40 years old, and now we start getting neck pain and headaches, and our back blows out, and we have very low energy, and we're not sleeping well. And now all of a sudden we call that getting old. You didn't just get old overnight, and it didn't just something trigger like that. It was years and years of deterioration. Then you finally get to a point where boom, something just triggers it and it hits right over the edge. It's kind of like, imagine your car is being hung and suspended by a crane, by a piece of rope. And that rope is rubbing in the wind against an edge, a sharp edge, and it's plucking away at each of those fibers. And nothing may happen for days or weeks or months. But then eventually, after all that plucking away at the fibers, you get to one last fiber and boom, the car comes crashing down. What caused it? Was it that last piece? Of course not. It was days, weeks, months, years of wearing away at that rope, and then finally it just went over the edge. And so that happens with us when it comes to our health, as our health gets chipped away, chipped away, chipped away, chipped away. And then all of a sudden you're at 30% function, and now your back blows out, your neck hurts, you have migraines. And if you're really, really smart, you're like the smartest people ever, where do you end up? right here in our office with us, right? This is after doing a bunch of other stuff. The smartest decision you made is to come see us. I'm just kidding, but not really. So you're here, and when do you want to get better? When do you think that you should improve or you should recover? Like tomorrow, right? Like one adjustment, this miracle adjustment that's going to totally transform your life. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. Healing takes time. So if you're coming in at 30% all the way over here, with that adjustment, that first adjustment, you go here, and then you go here, and then you go here. And then what happens? You have a bad weekend where you're not sleeping well, you're stressed out, and you end up sliding back a little bit. And then you get back on track, and then we get you here, 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 and then you slide back a little bit, and then here, and here, and here, and then you slide back a little bit. And it's that 3 steps forward, 1 or 2 steps back, 3 steps forward, 1 or 2 steps back, that creates that forward momentum. And then finally, after a while, you're at 30%, then 40%, then 42%, then 47%, then 50%, and then 51%. Now all of a sudden you're like, wow, I feel pretty good. Things are stable enough to where I'm not in pain anymore, but it's still not close to being corrected. And so at 51%, you make that decision. Do I stop and then go all the way back and kind of start over through this cycle? Or after we get to 51% and you're feeling pretty good, we keep things periodically moving forward, consistently moving forward to work on not only getting it feeling better, because you already feel pretty good, but really getting that rebuilt, stable, strong to create more of a long-term solution. And then what we do is once you get here, then we make sure that we maintain that so you create a lifetime, or as long as you would like, a time of health and energy and vitality and optimum function. That anything that's good for you requires maintenance. So whether you're 4 years old and you want to have your child grow up for a lifetime of the best opportunity for health, now is a great time to start. If you're 47 and you have some degeneration and you're struggling a bit with your health, now is also a great time to start. Get things corrected because you got a good 40, 50, 60 years left, whether you like it or not. And we want to make sure that those are quality ones for you. So the key here is if you're going to have a takeaway from this section, it is consistency. That every choice, every decision that you make is either moving you towards health or towards death. And it's not about being perfect, but it's about being consistent. And it's about getting back on track very, very quickly. The difference between the master and the novice, the difference between the master and the novice is not perfection. It's that the novice gets off track and they have no idea how to get back on track, or they do and they just don't do it. Whereas the master gets off track as much, if not more, but they make corrections so quickly and adapt so quickly, it's imperceptible to anybody else but themselves. And so I would encourage you to make sure that you set goals, have your targets, be consistent with them, and if you do get off track for a little while, show yourself some grace. Get back on track, get back to being consistent. And over time, time is on your side. If you are consistent over a long enough period of time, it's impossible for you not to get healthier. And we are here for you every step of the way, night or day. Let us know anything that we can do to support you that can help you to continue to get the results that you're looking for. We would love to partner with you and help you in any way that we possibly can. So thank you so much. It is just the beginning. We look forward to hearing all about your successes as time goes on. And thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.